Go Cat!
This was me, exactly a year ago today, graduating with my master's degree. This was one of the best moments of my life, and I just remember the emotion, feeling so proud of myself and determined to reach the next stage of life. I truly believed I could do anything. When I walked across that stage, I had 15 job interviews lined up and was ready to conquer the world. I thought I had my entire life figured out. And this is me 365 days post-graduation, 1 year later in a completely different season of life than I ever expected to be. I guess you could say I had a post-college midlife crisis, because post-college is a lot more difficult than we think. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Caitlin. Thanks for taking the time out of your busy day to check out my channel. And obviously from the title, you guys can tell that this video is about life after school. This magical world that every student fantasizes about, where deadlines, homework, lectures, and exams just all disappear. Now, I'm making this video for two main reasons. One, it's a graduation season, at least in the US, and a lot of people are celebrating reaching the end of their studies and getting ready to make that leap to the next stage of their life. That's huge, and I want to both offer my congratulations and encourage y'all. And number two, because today marks 1 year since I walked across the stage and finished my time as a student. And I'm feeling all kinds of sentimental. And life has been pretty crazy since then. So maybe my experience can also encourage or inspire someone else out there. Check this out. While I was filming, one of my friends tagged me in a video for my graduation ceremony and has dubbed this day Master CC Day. Find you good friends that cheer you on. That's important. Now, obviously, if you're in the midst of graduating, you're probably really excited and just eager to get out of school and find a job and just keep riding that high. I remember back a year ago, I was on cloud 9 the entire month leading up to graduation. I finished all my assignments early, I only had one exam, my grades were totally fine, and I was completely checked out and focused on what was next. I like to call this the honeymoon period, where everything leading up to and immediately following graduation is perfect. You're emotional and you're proud of yourself, and your friends and family are showering you with compliments. It's just all a really cool place to be in. You literally feel on top of the world, like you could conquer anything. But then you move home, a couple weeks go by, and then it hits you, post-college anxiety. You suddenly realize everything has changed, and you have no idea what you want to do with your life. At least if you're anything like me. When you graduate college, a lot of things rapidly change without you even realizing it. It goes by really quickly because you're in that honeymoon stage. Everything is perfect. Your friends and family and classmates are there. You're on top of the world and you just want that moment to last forever. But then you walk across the stage, you move home within a day or two, and bam, the real world hits you. And life is pretty hard. Post-college is really hard. I know for myself personally, friendships was probably one of the biggest adjustments I had to make post-school. I had moved to the United States, and I had spent the last 3 years in a new country, a new place, carving out who I was and building friendships with people. This was some of the most stressful and also growthful moments in my life. You know how strong college friendships get? Those are the people who see you at your worst, when you're struggling through classes, ready to give up, having a breakdown on the library floor at 2 a.m. And they're also the people who help you celebrate your wins. College friendship is a special kind of friendship, and I think a lot of the bonds that we form are lifelong. But that being said, when you graduate college and move back home, whether you stay in the same country as your friends or not, suddenly those people that you spent virtually every waking second with for the last few years are gone. Now, obviously, we live in an age of social media and technology, so you're not completely cut off from your friends. But moving back to the real world and not being with them is tough. It actually kind of sucks, especially if they live in a different time zone. Like, if I ever win the lottery, I'm renting a giant mansion for a month and buying plane tickets for each of my friends and flying them to me, because I miss them a lot. Now, obviously, I started this video on a super depressing note. Great job. However, I just want to encourage you and let you know that if you graduated and are in the next stage of your life and you're really struggling without your friends or you're struggling in isolation, just know that you're not alone. It's totally normal after you leave the honeymoon phase of graduation. You're going to come face to face with a whole new set of challenges, and that is likely going to be one of them. But do not fear, there are a couple really good ways for you to use this time. First of all, FaceTime your friends regularly. Obviously, all your friends are in a similar boat, trying to figure out what's next for them. So don't be afraid to reach out. Send them a text, tell them that you miss them, and schedule days to FaceTime and just chat about life. I promise it'll help. Number two, become your own best friend. One of the absolute best things you can do for yourself is learn to be okay hanging out with you. The person you spend the most time with in life is you, so you may as well make sure your relationship with yourself is a good one. I used to have really bad social anxiety and would feel really bad if I wasn't hanging out with my friends constantly. Learning to be okay hanging out alone with myself was one of the best things I ever did. Number 3, hanging out with your parents. Now this might surprise some of y'all, but your parents are actually pretty cool people, and they have a lot of life experience they'd love to share with you. Obviously not everyone has a great relationship with their parents. I totally get that. But if you're fortunate enough to be in a good relationship with them, live near them, or even with them, hang out with them. They'll probably even buy you stuff so you can save your own money. Your angsty teenage years are behind you. Chances are your parents aren't the enemy anymore. So go hang out with them. It'll make their entire day. They love you. Lastly, know that if you want real personal friendships in a post-college life, you have to work for them. Community isn't found. It's created, and it's usually found outside of your comfort zone. Getting a job, every graduate's favorite topic to talk about. Here's a side note, if you know someone in your life who is graduating and they haven't told you what they're doing next, just don't ask. They probably don't know and are having a ton of anxiety about not knowing what's next. I don't know why, but the job market is always really tough, and I feel like it's extra tough on recent grads. I even got a master's degree because people told me that it would open more career doors for me. Spoiler alert, it didn't. Remember those 15 interviews I mentioned at the beginning of this video? I got rejected from every single one of them. And the dozens more I went to after that. And yeah, it totally sucked, but I knew there was a bigger plan that I just hadn't discovered yet. People might tell you that jobs are lining up to hire you, but they're not. The majority of jobs I got rejected told me I just didn't have enough experience. Employers just aren't looking for people who have spent the last 18 to 23 years in school. So if you get rejected from jobs, it's okay, I promise. To everyone graduating right now, I know your social media and LinkedIn pages probably look like a giant highlight reel of everyone and their mother announcing their next steps or bragging about the fact that they landed their dream job in their dream field. But please know it's perfectly okay if that's not where you're at. You don't have to graduate college and immediately get your dream job. In fact, that's probably not likely going to happen. You're probably going to end up in a job field completely outside your field of interest. And that's perfectly okay to graduate without a job. I promise. You've just graduated. Enjoy this time. Take some time off to relax. Don't feel pressured to jump straight into the workforce. You're going to spend the next majority of your life working. Don't rush into a job you hate or waste time bending to fit in the check boxes of an employer. Live your life. This is your time. There's no rules. Also, real quick, I just want to talk about money. You may think you're a broke college student when you're in school, but broke post-college adult is a very real thing. Things in the real world cost a lot of money, and student debt is a very real thing. Staying in school longer to delay it may seem like a great idea, but if you're not sure what you're doing, you're just going to rack up more debt. So don't. I'm not really great at managing my money, and I don't live by a super strict budget because I don't have a lot of income coming in to play with. But it is so important to be smart about your money and where you're spending it, because every little purchase adds up. One rule that I really live by is if you can't afford to buy something twice over in cash, then you can't afford it. Now obviously I'm not talking about coffee or a burger, but the big things. Don't go into debt for something you really don't need. Also, if you have the opportunity to live at home, do it. It will drastically change your expenses and help you save money. Regardless of what your graduation season looks like, I promise you that your post-college journey is going to look different from every single one of your friends or classmates. There's going to be a lot of good times, and there's going to be some really sucky ones where you just wish you could hit the rewind button and go back to the time you were hanging out at your friend's apartment eating tacos on a Tuesday night. If I could leave the class of 2020 and beyond with one piece of advice, it would be that you can do whatever you want with your life post-college. You see that piece of paper you have with all the goals and expectations you have laying on your desk? Yeah, go ahead and grab that and rip that up for me. That perfectly curated plan you have for your life isn't going to unfold the way you have planned. But here's the good news. There's no law saying that you have to do anything after you graduate. You don't have to get a job at a certain age, enter a specific career field, live in a certain city, get married by a specific age. You can literally do whatever you want. Know that every single person you come into contact with is just winging it. No one truly has it all figured out. There isn't some adulthood manual you unlock when you reach a certain stage that tells you how to win at life. There isn't a hack for life, and there aren't any rules that you have to subscribe to. Now that might sound scary. This is really the first time in your life where you can color outside the lines and create your own path. But pursue that freedom. You have lots of time to get a job you hate and stay there for the rest of your life. If you have no idea what you want to do post-graduation, then do that. Take time pursuing the things you're passionate about and see where they lead. If you need money, then work as a barista on the side or something. Don't lock yourself into something you don't have to. One of the things I realized after internships and interviews was that if I had gotten my dream job, I honestly would have hated it. I would have been miserable. I'm so glad none of the doors I tried desperately to open did, because it led me to something I love, and that's being an entrepreneur. Am I where I expected to be a year ago? Absolutely not. But I wouldn't change anything about where I am right now. Not a chance. If tomorrow my dream job said they were going to hire me, I would say no, because I'm perfectly okay where I am. Fear and anxiety are going to creep in and try to tell you that you missed the boat. You're not where you're supposed to be. You're not doing what you should be. You're not making enough money to survive. But I promise you, those voices are lying. Instagram will have you comparing your life to everyone else's. But don't. You're not on the same path as them. They've overcome struggles you have no idea about, and you've overcome things that they have no idea about. We're all on our own path, and not everyone has to have things figured out when they graduate. I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret that a lot of people don't really seem to grasp. You get to choose what your life post-college looks like. Not your parents, not your professors, not your best friends, and certainly not social media. You do. So find something that you're passionate about, and know that you don't have to fit into any boxes or any expectations. Find what sets your soul on fire and pursue it with everything that you have within you. Work hard and you'll be just fine. I promise you. College graduation is a really exciting and exhilarating time, or at least it should be. You've worked hard since the very moment you started school for this moment of freedom where you don't have anything that you actually have to do next. So utilize that freedom. Don't feel pressured to rush into something. You know, someone's not going to knock on your door a week after graduation and demand to know your entire life plan, where you're going to work, what you're going to do, where you're going to live. That's not going to happen. No one's going to knock on your door and smash you in the head if you don't have your life all figured out. It's okay. There's no rule book. So utilize this time that you have. Find your passions. Do what you love. Figure out your life at your own pace, on your own path. Don't compare your journey to anyone else, and don't let anyone else write your journey for you. Sit down, grab a cup of coffee, and just enjoy college graduation. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And hey, if you're a college grad out there, I really hope it encouraged you. Let me know down below if it did. Know that you got your whole life ahead of you. You don't have to have anything figured out on day one post-graduation. I don't care what anyone says, they're wrong. It's your life. Live it however you want to live. If you guys liked today's video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, and then go over and hit that subscribe button. Join the family. It would mean an awful lot to me. We've got lots of room here. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Cheers!